Welcome back to AnimaBixos. Today, we are completely dismantling one of the biggest, most dangerous myths in human history. We are throwing out the cuddly teddy bear myth right now. Forget the cartoons, forget everything you thought you knew about these animals. Today, we are looking at real life, where bears are absolutely not your friends. We are talking about unstoppable biological war tanks. These are massive, towering mammals that sit perfectly positioned as the ultimate heavyweights of absolute destruction in the natural world. To really grasp what we're dealing with here, you have to understand the sheer industrial-level engineering of these creatures. We're looking at a massive, ultra-dense bone structure wrapped in thick layers of armor like muscle. They possess a relentless, almost terrifying resistance to pain. We're talking about a frame built entirely for survival and dominance. Here on the channel, we have a very specific term for this kind of animal: uncontrollable brute force. You simply cannot negotiate with uncontrollable brute force, and this brilliantly illustrates exactly why they rule the absolute top of the food chain. Let's get right into section 1, the biomechanics of a living tank. To truly comprehend the destructive power of a bear, we have to analyze their anatomy purely from an engineering perspective. Look at the big cats, right? Lions, tigers, leopards. They rely on stealth and retractable claws to grab and hold on to their prey. But bears, they operate on a completely different design philosophy. Their claws are fixed. They do not retract. They are massive, and they are always out, striking the earth with every single step. Imagine having 5 permanent bone pickaxes attached to the end of each limb. When we look at the North American grizzly, those claws easily reach 10 centimeters in length. Think about that for a second. 10 centimeters. That is literally the length of a hunting knife, permanently affixed to their fingers. And the function of those claws is fascinating because they aren't just designed for slicing flesh. They act exactly like the steel teeth on a mechanical excavator. Combine that with the massive hump of pure muscle on a grizzly's back, which basically functions as an organic winch, and they use these bone pickaxes to effortlessly flip boulders weighing hundreds of kilos. They can literally shred solid tree trunks to pieces in seconds just to find a few grubs. But raw physical power isn't their only weapon, not even close. Let's talk about their hidden superpower. The number 30 here represents kilometers. 30 kilometers. It is scientifically terrifying. The bear possesses the most potent sense of smell of any terrestrial animal on the planet. To put this into perspective for you, their nasal receptor area is 7 times larger than that of a bloodhound. A bloodhound, literally the gold standard of canine tracking. A bear can accurately track invisible particles in the air, pinpointing a food source from over 30 kilometers away. Honestly, a bear could be sitting in the next zip code and know exactly that you had garlic chicken for dinner 2 days ago. They are biologically wired to find whatever they are looking for. Now, this is where we get into genuine medical miracles. During the brutal winter, a bear enters a profound sleep. Their heart rate plummets from 50 beats per minute down to just 8. Now, if a human laid completely still for 4 to 6 months, it would be an absolute medical disaster. We're talking severe muscle atrophy, critical bone density loss, and lethal blood clots. I mean, let's be real, you spend one single weekend binge watching a show on the couch and you wake up with lower back pain that lasts for a week. But human doctors are incredibly envious of a bear's perfect metabolic engineering. While they sleep, they literally recycle their own urea and toxic waste into perfect protein synthesis. When a bear wakes up in the spring, it might be hungry, sure, but its bone density and its ability to apply tons of raw muscle force are 100% intact. It's a flawless survival machine that just idles its engine to save gas. Moving on to section 2, the predator of the polar circle. When we enter the unforgiving, frozen wasteland of the Arctic, we meet the largest living terrestrial predator on Earth, the polar bear. Unlike brown or black bears that will happily forage for berries and roots, the polar bear is a strict hyper-carnivore. It is the apex of the apex. In fact, it is widely considered the only animal on the planet that actively tracks and hunts humans as designated prey if we wander into its domain. And their thermal engineering, it is out of this world. First off, that iconic white coat, it's a complete optical illusion. The fur is actually composed of translucent, hollow tubes. Those hollow hairs act just like fiber optic cables, channeling solar radiation directly down to their skin. And underneath all that fluff, their skin is pitch black. It's perfectly designed to absorb and retain every microscopic fraction of heat in an environment that actively wants to freeze them to death. Add to that their terrifying stealth capabilities, and you basically have a ghost haunting the ice. Their hunting protocol highlights their brutal mechanical efficiency. Step 1. They locate a tiny breathing hole carved by a seal through feet of solid ice. Step 2. They wait. And I don't mean they just hang around for a bit. I mean extreme mind-bending patience. They will stand frozen, completely immovable like an ice statue, for over 12 hours straight in negative 40-degree weather. Step 3. The exact moment the seal's nose breaches the surface for a fraction of a second, the bear delivers a crushing downward paw strike with the force of an industrial press. It shatters the seal's skull instantly. Then, using just one paw, it hooks the 100-kilo seal and yanks it entirely out of the water. Flawless, devastating efficiency. Let's head south to Section 3, Titans of North America. Moving from the ice back to the dense forests and mountains, we find the North American grizzlies and the colossal Kodiak bears. We are talking about 600-kilo titans of pure, heavily armored muscle that absolutely do not comprehend the concept of fear. The combat force of an adult grizzly's paw strike is staggering. We're talking about pure mechanical power. Imagine the kinetic energy required to literally decapitate a fully grown wild moose or snap the spinal column of a massive bison with just one single downward strike. It's exactly like being hit by a compact car dropping from the sky. The physical density of their skeleton, combined with that shoulder hump muscle, makes their forelimbs function like actual pile drivers. And then there's the bite, 1,100 psi. That is 1,100 pounds per square inch of bite force. To put that in context, that is significantly stronger than the bite of an adult African lion. But what's truly fascinating is how they apply this brute force with absurd calculation. During the Alaskan salmon runs, the veteran bears don't waste energy running around chasing fish. No, they secure the strategic high ground at the waterfalls. They calculate the exact trajectory and timing of a salmon jumping upstream, catch the fish mid-air, and in a fraction of a second, use that 1,100 psi bite to crush the spine. And, for maximum caloric efficiency before winter hits, they'll often just strip the high-fat skin and eat the eggs, casually tossing the rest. It's calculated gluttony at its finest. Which brings us to Section 4, Lethal Weapons of the Forests. Now, extreme danger doesn't exclusively come from 600-kilo giants. We need to prove that smaller packages in the wild can sometimes be the most dangerously unpredictable. Case in point, the Indian sloth bear. It might look a bit bizarre with its shaggy hair and curved claws, but it is widely considered one of the most unpredictable and dangerous animals in Asia. You have to understand its neighborhood. It shares territory with Bengal tigers and leopards. You cannot survive there by being timid. The sloth bear survives through furious, instant, explosive aggression. And anatomically, it's basically a high-power biological vacuum cleaner. It literally lacks front teeth. It uses its modified mouth to create a perfect suction tube, generating enough negative pressure to suck entire termite colonies from deep underground. If it can suck bugs out of solid dirt, trust me, you do not want those jaws anywhere near you. And speaking of bizarre engineering, we have to talk about the sun bear from Indonesia. It's the smallest bear in the world, living up in the canopy, but it compensates with insane biological tools. Just look at this defense mechanism. Step 1. A predator, like a leopard, bites the sun bear on the back of the neck. For most animals, it's instantly game over. Step 2, the sun bear has extremely loose, elastic skin around its neck. It can literally spin its entire body around inside its own skin. It is the ultimate master of forest jujitsu. Imagine biting someone's jacket from behind, and they just rotate inside the jacket to face you. Step 3, it instantly counterattacks the aggressor's face with proportionally massive, razor-sharp claws. It is survival engineering taken to the absolute extreme. Now for Section 5, Psychology and Territorial Dominance. Physical combat is incredibly risky, even for a biological tank. A minor infection from a cut can easily be a death sentence out in the wild. So, apex predators engage in complex psychological warfare to establish territorial dominance without ever shedding a drop of blood. Maintaining the top spot in the food chain is a full-time job, and bears have completely mastered the art of biological intimidation. When two massive males cross paths, the display is staggering. They will stand fully upright on their hind legs, easily towering over 3 meters tall. They inflate their massive chests and release these deep, guttural roars that vibrate and echo for kilometers through the forest. But their primary messaging system is actually left on the trees. A bear will back up against a prominent tree trunk, violently rubbing its scent glands to impregnate the bark with its unique chemical signature. Then, it turns around, stretches as high as physically possible, and violently claws and bites huge chunks out of the solid wood. And this brilliantly illustrates the chilling logic behind those claw marks. That tree is a billboard. It's a calculated visual warning. The message is incredibly simple. Any invading bear that walks by and sees those deep gashes knows precisely the height, size, and power of the owner. If you cannot stretch your claws to reach this high, you are massively outmatched. Retreat in silence. It is the ultimate flex of a supreme predator.
Section 6. Historical Archives. The Sankebetsu Incident.
We have spent this entire time talking about their mechanics and biology, but to truly understand the lethal reality of these animals, we have to look at what happens when that uncontrollable brute force clashes directly with civilization. This is not a myth, this is documented history, and it commands our absolute respect. In early December of 1915, in the freezing, isolated forests of Sankebetsu, Japan, a massive brown bear weighing over 340 kilos, a bear known as Kesagake, awoke prematurely from hibernation. Driven completely mad by extreme hunger, the animal abandoned all natural boundaries. In mid-December, under the absolute cover of night, this massive creature repeatedly invaded an isolated pioneer village. Over several terrifying days, the bear eliminated 7 local residents. But what truly paralyzed the entire region with fear was the animal's unbelievable resistance to the firearms of the era. It took multiple gunshots and simply kept coming, entirely undeterred, operating in pure predatory darkness. The panic became so absolute that a specialized military task force of expert hunters actually had to be deployed to finally track down and stop the creature. The tragedy of Sankebetsu serves as a chilling, brutal, scientific reminder to all of us. We can study them, we can admire their incredible biomechanics, but we must never, ever anthropomorphize them. As this quote captures so perfectly, bears are primordial forces of nature. They are not domesticable, have zero empathy, and operate under the strict laws of survival and brute power. They remain one of the most imposing supreme predators to ever walk the earth.
So what you should ultimately take away from all of this is respect. Maximum, unwavering respect. When you are dealing with a biological war tank of this magnitude, your absolute best defense is distance. Keep your technology, keep your cameras, and most importantly, keep yourself far, far away from their territory. Nature's mechanical power demands nothing less.
Which brings us to the ultimate AnimaBixos survival dilemma for you guys. I want you to really think about this. Imagine you are hiking in an isolated forest. You turn a corner, and standing 3 meters tall on its hind legs directly in front of you is a massive grizzly. Do you attempt the classic survival tactic and drop to the dirt to play dead, just praying it loses interest? Or, knowing full well that this biological tank can accelerate to speeds over 50 kilometers per hour, do you hit panic mode and try to run for your life? What is your survival strategy? Drop down into the comments right now and tell us what you would realistically do. And hey, if you loved this hardcore, realistic breakdown of nature's ultimate heavyweights, absolutely smash that like button to support our work. Make sure to subscribe to AnimaBixos so you never miss our deep dives into the real, unforgiving world of apex predators. Stay smart, respect the wild, and we will see you on the next adventure.